Spring break, space, and it's no longer a sausage fest in here. This is the Not So Much News. Welcome back to the Not So Much News. I'm Anand Ram.
And I'm Julianna McDermott.
You see that? Women can stand to sit next to me. I'm like an Indian George Clooney.
Not really.
What?
Our top story this week, Michael Ignatieff has no problems with the Conservative proposal to cut Parliament's March and April vacations. He says that he likes the idea because he's been against the whole prorogation thing from the start. We say he's welcoming this idea because that dude on spring break would burn like a naked mole rat.
The decision needs everyone to be on board with it, but let's break it down. They're on break until March 3rd, catch up on lost episodes. And if no one agrees with this plan, they'd go back on break on March 15th for a week. Then they'd get another 2 weeks in April, because that's when Fringe comes back. Come on.
It's a big deal. According to the CBC, the decision would force MPs to sit through a period when many of them take time off with their families. How dare you want them to stay, Ignatieff? You, sir, are on the list.
Easy, Julie. It might not be bad for government to actually sort of do work. After all, Ignatieff did say that after being at work for a couple weeks, he got some real results achieved. Think it was because one party wasn't there and the leader of the other party is kind of going through some health problems? By the way, as a cancer survivor myself, I wish you the best, Mr. Layton. Moving on.
Last week we mentioned that Adam Jambroni is running for mayor. He filed his papers, but many haven't forgotten about his other job, the TTC. And if you thought sleeping subway guy was bad, you won't like the next employee under the gun.
In a video posted to YouTube, a bus driver was recorded stopping the bus, going into a coffee shop, and coming back after 7 minutes. Here's the douchey move. It was 3 a.m. Do you know who rides the bus at 3 a.m.? People who don't want to ride the bus at 3 a.m.
In the video, a woman yells at the driver for taking this break, at which point he decides to go like this. What the hell is that? Not now. Daddy has a headache. The driver was suspended, thankfully, but any more moves like this by the TTC, and we might not have to worry about knowing how to pronounce Mayor Jambroni? Gabroni? Djibouti?
You know, we ragged on the CBC News earlier in the show, but there's one fact about their site that we feel very impressed by. They have to sift through some of the dumbest comments in the world. And we know exactly who makes these comments. So what kind of Web 3.0 synergy micro-bogorif tweet square hip with the kids show would we be if we didn't explain to you these different types of CBC commenters?
Number one, I just feel like being honest, you guys, commenter. This is the person that really wants to connect with the audience by not holding back. And by not holding back, we mean never backing up their comment with anything other than personal opinion. For example, look, I'm just going to say it straight. Gay people are like black people. There. I said it. I said it because I had to say it, and I am who I am.
The hangs out in the back making short, cutting remarks. This type of commenter seems to think that shrugging and snorting are equivalent to words. Liberals. Ha!
That tries to get you on their side by asking a question, commenter. This one's sneaky. They'll try to curry favor with everyone around by making the most obvious point in the room. Is it just me, you guys, or is everything just so crazy? You guys? Are you listening, you guys?
And finally, the calls you out by your online tag and sounds like a complete D-bag for doing so commenter. I hate this kind of commenter the most because they take past comments and pretend like a message board is actually valid for coherent discussion. Listen, Boner Party 723, I really think you're out of line about your views on Nicaragua's healthcare system. I mean, just take a look at Asian Dr. Dre's comment on systematic flaws, and you'll have your answer.
See, we could pull up these comments from YouTube, but those just get very racist very quickly.
Very quickly, and we're just not that kind of show. Now for some news that's out of this world. Get it? You get it. But seriously, there's some big news in space. Well, big news about which country wants to get there.
That's right. The country of Iran, known for its little president that could not stop denying the Holocaust, has fired a rocket into space.
Oh. They successfully launched a 3-meter-long rocket into space. Now, innuendos aside, They put animals inside of it. That's right, a mouse, 2 turtles, and a dozen creatures that looked like worms were sent into space. They gave no details about what the research was for or where the rocket is now. For all we know, those turtles have mutated due to solar radiation, and I doubt that Iranian turtles will have famous painter names and fight crime. All this clearly points to one thing.
Please don't.
Conspiracy! Iran's president, Mahmoud Ahmadinejad, beard dude, clearly has a diabolical plan for these animals. By launching them into space in the Kavoshkar 3 rocket, he's clearly taking a stab at Western imperialism. We all saw G-Force. It was about mice. Iranian super mice. That's right. Led by this mouse, the 2 turtles, whose shells can withstand re-entry, will dock with the space station using the worms as rope. When there, they will slowly stick up the joint until the astronauts can take no more and send the ISS crashing into the Earth. Ahmadinejad, you diabolical. So simple, yet so brilliant. Julianna, add him to the list, quickly.
No. And now for the weirdest news you won't find anywhere else. This is the Not So Much News in a Minute. A 4th grader in New York was almost suspended for bringing a 2-inch gun made out of Legos to school. The school has a strict no-gun policy and don't ask them about their imaginary machete claws.
Mei-Lan, a giant American-born panda, is returning to China after 3 long years. To welcome her, China plans to give her special food, a new boyfriend, and language lessons in the Sichuan dialect. So how do you say "we're your pimp" in Mandarin?
A restaurant in the United Arab Emirates is offering a new delicacy on its fat-free menu. Camel burgers. That's right. For $6 you can enjoy a camel burger, and I shit you not. They have a drink called a camel milkshake.
A drunk minibus driver in South Africa was arrested for trying to transport 49 children in his 16-seater taxi to school. He was also 5 times over the legal blood alcohol limit. My question is, what kind of parent trusts this guy to take their kids to school when they see 48 other kids like this in the window?
And finally, a priest in Poland has installed an electronic fingerprint reader in his church in order to monitor the attendance of school children. If the children attend 200 masses in 3 years, they won't have to write an exam before their confirmation. And with good reason. I hear the examination is oral.
Oh, that is horrible, Jay. And that was the Not So Much News in a Minute. We've come to the end of yet another episode of NSM on RUtv. We've laughed, we've cried, we've loved.
And we never have to sit next to you ever again. I'm Julianna McDermott.
Wait, what?
Good night.
Hey, that's my line. I'm on the run.
I was nervous.
Yeah, well, you loosen up. Next time you host, you'll be fine.
I was really nervous. I did
You're
really
really
bad.
nervous.